Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It is day 5 of the Blueprint Live experience. I'm super excited that you are here with me. Let me know where you're coming from. If you are on LinkedIn, if you are on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, or you are on the YouTubes, let me know where you're coming from. Drop a little bit of an intro or a wave or a hello or whatever it is in the chat box. I want to say good morning to you. I want to know what your experience has been to date with the Blueprint Live experience, what you've learned, what it is that you still would like to learn, if there's anything that I'm missing, if I'm hitting the mark, if I am missing the mark, because we love a good piece of constructive feedback to make sure that we are doing the best that we can possibly do. So let me know what it is for you. I'm looking forward to hearing what you got to say. Now, if this is your first day, welcome in. If you are continuing with me, welcome back. My name is Patrice Malloy. I am the Affluent CFO, aka your financial fairy godmother, and I'm here to help you build a breakthrough business without the burnout and the overwhelm. And we're going to create businesses that are innovative, impactful, and profitable. All right, that is our goal. We've also been talking about our WealthCare framework, which is what we are going to apply to our businesses and to our lives to make sure that we are living our best possible scenarios. We are taking into account our emotional health, our physical, our spiritual and financial health. So we have a holistic view of our lives. And we are creating businesses that work for us instead of businesses or extended jobs that we are working for. All right. So that is who I am. And just a little bit of background. So people are probably wondering who I am. So I did a little exercise for y'all, right? Nobody really wants to talk about themselves. But here's the deal. People are checking on you. They're looking for receipts. They want social proof. They want all the things. And they're wondering, why are you here? So I'm going to tell you why I'm here. Let's go ahead and just go through this really quickly. Just a handful of accolades. All right. Nothing serious. Just a little something slight. Let me know if you can hear. Mhm. No. Okay, y'all. I had this really awesome thing set up for you, but I'm hearing that it's not coming through. Why can I not be great? Okay, listen. I'll drop it in the chat a little bit later so y'all can peruse that when you have a free minute. But we need to get back to this mission at hand. Okay, we are here for day 5. We are going to be talking about our finances and our financial revolutions. So let me go ahead and pull up our blueprint here so that we can take a look at what we're doing today. It is day 5, like I said. We are going to be talking about financial mastery. We are crafting our CEO blueprint for a breakthrough business because that is what we are here to do. Again, everybody has a different definition of what financial mastery might mean to them. For me, it means that it's time to boss up and get those finances in order. Financial mastery is not just about counting coins, although it is a very important step in that. It's also about making your money work for you. That has been a theme for us. We are building businesses that work for us so that we do not have to continue working for it, creating burnout, overwhelm, stress, anxiety, all the things. And we want to duplicate our efforts so that we are able to scale these businesses and then eventually sell them at a high multiple. Okay. That's what our goal is. And I really want you to start thinking about this. Even though you may not have plans of doing it anytime soon, you want to build a portfolio so that when the time comes, because there will come a time when you might be tired of doing what you're doing and you want to pass it down to someone else who is ready to take the reins of that. When you're ready for that, your business is going to be positioned for you to get the money that you desire so that you can continue living the lifestyle that you want. All right. Now let's get back to this. We want to make our money work for us, and we are building an unapologetic wealth and legacy. Finally, we're setting our businesses up to be a cash flow queen / machine. This is why we're starting to create that CEO blueprint. This is the plan that's going to help your business thrive and your bank accounts sing its praises. Okay, why does this matter? You want a business that isn't just surviving, but it's thriving. I know for a fact that businesses have seasons and cycles. So there are times we are up, 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 and there are times when we are down and we don't know what we're going to do. We want to be able to plan for those gaps in income, for those fluctuations, okay? For the sales that may shift, for the economy that might shift, for whatever happens. We lose a client or we gain a new client and we're onboarding them, but we haven't gotten them to a place where we're getting consistent income. Whatever it might be, you need to make sure that you're planning for those situations and scenarios so that you are not finding yourself in a state of lack or having to borrow from your savings or something else, max out a credit card, etc. in those times when things are not where we need them to be cash flow wise. All right. So again, that's why we're focusing on setting these financial foundations. And we're going to leverage everything that we've learned in the past 4 days in order for us to do this. Our exercise for today. This is our revenue reality check. It is time to get real. It's time to get serious. It's time to get vulnerable. It's time to get real, up close and personal with your business. Identify what it's bringing in and where that money is coming from. Okay. We want to talk about doing all of those revenue streams like we talked about a couple of days ago, but really get serious about this now. We need to list all of those streams and identifying which one is driving the most profit for you. There are times in a business when we do something that we think that the market's going to want, but in reality, our profit is not showing that that's the case. So we really need to be mindful. What is it that's actually selling? What is it that we know that people want? Are we listening to our audience? Are we listening to their feedback on what we've given to them? Are we listening to their pain points and the things that they're experiencing now that they've used our tools, resources, training, expertise, consulting, etc.? You always have to be mindful of that because your audience in the market will tell you what they want next. That is why we want to understand and identify what our revenue streams are and identify which makes the most profit. Because if we do something that we're putting a lot of time and energy and resources into that's not bringing in that return on our investment, then we need to let that go or figure out a way to maybe tweak that so that it does in turn give us the profit that we're looking for. All right. So we're going to go ahead and dive into our revenue roadmap. And I got it for you. I got you covered. We're going to go ahead and put this in the sheet so that we can make sure that you have everything that you need. Alrighty. And then please let me know if you can see it. If you cannot see it, please let me know that as well, because I'm going to give you the access that you need. All right, we are dropping this into the chat. I want you to open it up and follow along with me as we go through this. It is very important information. It is a serious exercise, ladies. All right. I'm going to give you a couple minutes and I'm going to go ahead and pull that up and bring it to the stage so that we can start talking about this good old revenue roadmap. All right. So please let me know if you have it. If you do not have it, if you're having any challenges, just drop something in the chat so I can see it and I'll make sure that you get that. The replays will have this information for you as well. So make sure that you keep an eye on your inbox for that after our session. But I want to get started. We are on a mission to expand our femme empire by exploring new revenue streams that align with your vision and fuel sustainable growth. Again, we talked about sustainability. It does not make sense to build a business that we hate. It does not make sense to put a machine behind something that doesn't bring us joy, that isn't giving us the feels that we want to feel. It isn't allowing us to operate in our purpose and our passion. So be very mindful about what it is that we're doing. There's no point in automating or systematizing these things if it is not right with you in your soul. All right. So think about that. We need to make sure they align with your sustainable vision and growth. And we want to make sure it's not just about making money. It is about making smart, strategic moves that are going to position your business for long-term success. We want scalability and salability. Those are our two favorite words. And sustainability. Three. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive into our brainstorming session. And this is going to open up new avenues for profitability and build a blueprint for your empire's expansion. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, our step one is to brainstorm these new revenue streams. So first, we want to get those creative juices flowing. When we opened up this experience, we talked about dreaming big, dreaming bold, dreaming brilliant. Do whatever it is that you need to do to get these goals and dreams down on a piece of paper. Remember, we don't need to focus on the how right now. We just want to focus on the what. The sky is the limit. We're not putting any limitations or ceilings or anything, limits on what it is that we're thinking about right now. Think big. First, we're going to start with identifying your core strengths. What are your unique strengths and assets in your business that you already possess that could be leveraged for new revenue streams? I know we hear a lot of times that the market is saturated with people who are doing what we're doing, but the reality is that nobody does what you do like you do it. So what is it that makes you different from everybody else? What positions you and sets you aside as a category of one when it comes to your business, who you serve, how you operate, and the results that you produce? Who can do what only you can do? Think about this. So I'd love for you to just list the top 3 strengths of your business that can be turned into profitable revenue streams. Are you a consultant? Do you have a retainer in place right now? Is that something that you could leverage or implement right away? Absolutely is the answer. We don't have to wait for these things to be perfect. Implement, test, tweak. Implement, test, tweak. That is how we get fast. That is how we get intelligent about our data. And that is how we make money. We do not need to be sitting here trying to figure out how to get everything put into place before we launch something. Get the market's opinion on what it is that you're going to put out there. See if it's what they want. Get your answers. You have this information in front of you. We're not using our resources. So make sure you're doing that. And it matters because your existing strengths are the most powerful tools for generating new income. We're not talking about reinventing the wheel right now. What do you have that's already working? And how can you expand upon that? If you have a done for you service, can you take some of those pieces out and off of your plate and create a done with you service or a DIY service? Can you take some trainings that you've already gone through and conducted and put them in a portal for somebody to leverage to build their business on their own time at their own pace? We want to be thinking about these things. Everyone has something that they already have access to, some sort of resource you've created, some sort of training you've done, a live video, something that you've crafted, a resource, a tool, a template, a checklist, a consultation, something. So think about these things. Okay. Next, we're going to explore adjacent markets. Are there any markets or industries adjacent to your current business that you could expand into? So for instance, can you collaborate or partner with somebody who is in a similar field but doesn't offer exactly what you offer? Meaning your services might be an upgrade to what they have and vice versa. Are you a bookkeeper and you're looking for somebody that offers taxes and CFO services? Are you a CFO who doesn't want to do bookkeeping and you're looking for a bookkeeper to handle your bookkeeping clients so that everybody wins? Are you a coach that has expertise in health and wellness? Are you looking for somebody who has expertise in finance or something else, right? So think about these things. How can you collaborate with somebody in an adjacent market that's going to help you introduce new revenue streams into your business? You could be doing these lives. Y'all could be doing LinkedIn audio events, LinkedIn lives, Facebook events, evites, live events, right? Doing, brunches for women empowerment, or you could be doing, a get together where authors come and they talk about things that they want to do for their next book, or they talk about their experiences, or they talk about how to get into publishers, without having to spin the wheels and spend a whole bunch of money. So think about these things. There's so much that you can explore. So I really want you to think about that. Brainstorm these adjacent markets or industries where your business can create new revenue opportunities. And it matters because expanding into related areas allows you to diversify without straying too far from your core expertise. Again, we're not talking about reinventing the wheel. Leverage what you know, couple that with something that somebody else knows, maybe a little bit better than you, and both of you guys can grow. Both of you all offer services to people. Expand your audience, double, triple, quadruple your audience and the reach and visibility, because now you have access to each other's people and communities. Okay? Quick way to make money, by the way. The third thing we want to do is consider a product or service extension. How can you expand a current product or service offering to create additional revenue streams? Let's just go back to the whole thought process of consulting. If you're a consultant, you are a master in your craft. You do everything with your eyes closed because you've done it for so many years and you do it so well that it's nothing to you. Can you start doing speaking engagements about that? Can you start facilitating workshops about how you do what you do, your framework, your process, your methodology, your approach to the way that you do business, what it is that's allowed you to achieve success in your business? These are things, again, that you already have in your back pocket. All you need to do is say it in front of somebody, or put it in a portal like we talked about, or put it in an ebook or an actionable book. There are a lot of ways to do this. So what's a product that you can leverage for your services, and what's a service that you could potentially leverage with your product? Do you have a hair care product? Do you know any beauticians or hairstylists? Can you connect with them, have them leverage your products as they're doing their clients' hair, and both of you win? Can you show up to expos? Can you collaborate with somebody who is really good at getting into big box stores, getting onto the shelves of Target, Walmart, Kroger, whatever your local, grocery store is? What can you do to expand your reach and your revenue? So we want to be thinking about this. Expanding your offerings allows you to serve your existing customers better while also attracting new ones. We always want to be attracting new ones. The key is to focus on your current customer list because they are already familiar with you. They already know, like, and trust you. They've already purchased from you and they're warm. You want to focus on how to continue to serve them while you're looking for new customers to bring into your ecosystem. That's what we want to focus on. That's very important. That's one of the reasons why a lot of businesses go out of business, or they feel like they're not winning at this business because they feel like they have to go out and get new clients every single day. The reality is you don't have to. If you nurture the clients that you currently have, you keep them abreast of what's happening in your business, you keep them, intimately familiar with what's going to happen, any changes, anything that you have on the horizon, invite them into help you create your next product or service. If you keep doing that, they're going to be more willing to buy from you again. And typically they'll buy from you at that new price or that new service or that new product level. So need to be thinking about those things. Obviously, we want new customers, but we want to nurture the ones that we already have. All right. We're going to move into 4, which is think digital. How can you leverage digital platforms or technology to create new income streams? How can you leverage Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn to create additional income streams? I briefly talked about doing something like a LinkedIn audio event, a LinkedIn live event, to share what it is that you do, to educate and indoctrinate people into your craft, your expertise, your accomplishments and achievements, and how you can support them in their journey. TikTok. Can you start to get on TV? Can you start to get on podcasts? Can you collaborate with other people at summits, whether that be virtual or in person, and then have some sort of digital aspect to that particular event? So what I'd love for you to do is identify 3 digital products or services that your business could offer, such as online courses, those digital downloads that we talked about, or a subscription model. Maybe you want to reach a lot more people. You have a one-to-one service right now. Maybe you're starting to get to capacity and you want to service many people. We can offer a one-to-many coaching program. You can package up what you do, put it in an online system, and for people who may not be at a level or financially ready to invest in working with you one-on-one, they can still have access to you, understand what it is that you do. And then when they've reached that level of being able to work with you one-on-one, then they can ascend to that next level in your buyer's journey. We always want to be thinking about that. What's the next step in the journey for our customers and clients? Digital revenue streams are highly scalable and often require lower upfront cost, making them attractive options for growth. If I can put something in a portal that I've already done a million times and then let another million people see it without me having to physically give the speech to a million people, I'm winning. My visibility has grown exponentially. My revenue has most likely grown exponentially as well. My ability to duplicate myself has grown exponentially. We need to be thinking about these things. We don't need to make it so hard. We do not have to do everything on our own. I don't know why we do that, especially as women. Listen, I'm so guilty of this, but we don't have to do it on our own. We don't have to work just hard. We need to be working smart as well. As you're going through this, the next thing we're going to start thinking about is evaluating the viability of your ideas. We want to have ideas, but we also want to make sure they're ideas that we're able to use. Like, there's no point in doing something that's not going to be leveraged or usable, okay? Again, we want to make sure that that's what we're doing. Just in case anyone did not have the ability to get the worksheet, I did drop the link again. So please let me know if you're still unable to access that. But we should absolutely be able to have access to that now. In the event that we can't, please, again, let me know and I will go ahead and make sure that I get that for you. Let me just drop it one more time to make sure that everyone has this access. Alrighty. Thank you, Ms. Turkey. I appreciate you. As always, I'm going to drop it one more time. Okay, so let's get back to this because I want to be mindful of your time. I want to honor the time that it's going to take for us to start putting this information down. We're going to evaluate that viability, like I mentioned. So once you've brainstormed your list of potential revenue streams, it's really time to get strategic. We're going to actually evaluate these ideas and identify if they're worth pursuing. One of the things that we want to start to do is assess that market demand like we talked about. So ask your current questions. Do a quick survey, maybe 3 questions. What did you purchase? What did you like about it? What could I improve upon it? And then maybe, the 4th question is, what would you like to see next in this collection? What do you need in your journey that's going to take you to the next level? 4 quick questions. You can combine some of those questions, quite honestly. But we want to start getting an idea of, now that they've been able to experience our product or our service, what they are looking for next, because we want to keep them in our ecosystem. We don't want to send them out to look for somebody else to take them to the next step. That's taking money out of your own pocket, especially if you already understand their business, how they operate, how to support them. Why send them out to someone else to start over? We don't want to do. All right, so again, assessing that market demand. Is there a strong demand for this new revenue stream in the market? How can you validate that demand before investing time and resources? One of the things you can absolutely start to do, and by the way, just random side note, in the Feminine Fortune program, we talk about how to strategically leverage AI and technology in your business to take it to the next level, because we talked about being innovative, impactful, and profitable. And if you are not familiar quite yet, artificial intelligence and technology at its finest are taking the world by storm. And there's no reason for you to get left behind. I am offering you the key, the resources to make sure that you are at the cutting edge of technology, artificial intelligence, and finance. But I digress. One of the ways that you can identify what the market demand is by doing a chat, a Google search. What are people looking for in your industry, in your niche? People who have purchased this type of product. What are some of those Google keywords? If you want to use artificial intelligence, ask ChatGPT what the market is asking for. Ask Perplexity, ask Jasper, ask Gemini, ask Copilot, ask any of these artificial intelligence resources what the market is looking for. And the beautiful thing about some of the latter ones that I mentioned is that they pull information from the internet, from the web, actual legitimate resources. So that's good information and data that you can leverage to make your decisions. And we talked about making informed strategic decisions. Do that. Make your life easier. Have it compile a list for you in an Excel spreadsheet. Okay? And if you don't understand how to do that, I'm happy to support you there. That's what we learn how to do in Feminine Fortune. All right? This matters because when you understand market demand, it helps you focus on revenue streams that have the highest potential for success. We're not in that market anymore where you're supposed to be creating $27 and $7 and $17 offers and having to sell 1 million of those to reach your revenue goals. People are looking for high ticket. They're looking for high touch, bespoke, individual, unique, exclusive experiences. They're looking for somebody to take the problems off of their shoulders and their plate, essentially, and fix it for them. People will pay for you to fix a problem. Are you packaging your problem in a way that resonates with your ideal buyer? We need to be thinking about that. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about alignment with your business vision. Again, we always want to keep our business vision in mind. Does this align with my goal for the next 12 months? Does that align with my goal for the next 3 to 5 years? So we need to really identify that. And then, does it align with my values? If it's something that makes you feel funny, like I mentioned, listen to your heart, listen to your spirit, your body. It'll tell you, which way you need to go. Listen to that. We need to evaluate whether each new revenue stream aligns with your business's long-term vision and goals. And this matters, again, because alignment ensures that your new venture supports your bigger picture. Everyone chases money at some point in time. That's the reality. But you have to start chasing something bigger than that in order to keep going. Because we talked about this as well. It feels like being punched in the face on a consistent basis. You're constantly facing objections. You're constantly being told no. You have to have that strength and resilience and that fortitude and that scrap and that grit sometimes to get up and do it each and every day, especially if you're not seeing the growth and change and shift and transformation at the pace that you think that you should be seeing it at. And that's another lesson in and of itself of entrepreneurship and growth, right? It is a process. Nobody just falls into entrepreneurship successful. Everyone has gone through something at some point. So just keep that in mind and give yourself grace. Financial feasibility. What are the financial implications of pursuing this new revenue stream? And do you have the resources to make it happen? I'm not talking about going and getting yourself into a whole lot of debt to create a new resource. Again, we want to test viable products. Have you heard MVP, minimum viable product? We want to create something that is just the scale of the product. Before you even go into creating the physical product, do a test in the market. Ask them if it's something that they would even want. The second test to know if they're really serious, right? If they're not playing with your emotions, is to do a pre-sale. Sell it to them early. Say, hey, I'm going to pre-sale this product or service. Because you're a founding member, I'm going to give it to you for 50% off to start. And then you get your beta testers. If people start to purchase your product, you know that that's a viable idea. If it's crickets, you may need to go back to the drawing board. And that's okay, because not every idea is going to be brought to fruition or to real life. That's just the reality. That's why it's an idea. Okay. So think about that. Do not waste your time and energy and money and mental, just like capacity on something that is not even going to be profitable or that people don't want. If they didn't tell you they didn't want it, don't do it. Like, I don't know why we do this. We go off on our own and we think, oh, well, they'll love this and that. And we could just ask them if they want it. They'll tell us. Y'all know how the internet is. They have no cut cards. They'll tell you how they feel about you in a second, even if you didn't ask them. So ask them, okay? All right, scalability and sustainability. Can this revenue stream scale as your business grows? And is it sustainable in the long term? Again, we talked about positioning our businesses and ourselves to be in a place where things can be sustainable without breaking down our business operations, without causing confusion, without causing our operations to halt. We need to be able to grow and leverage the processes and procedures that we put into place, in addition to the systems, to make sure that it runs like a well-oiled machine. without us because we do not want to be tied to our business. You don't. Many people are at a point now where they're wanting to bring somebody else in as a CEO to manage the business, to actually deal with the day-to-day operations and the shenanigans and the challenges and the ups and downs of being in business. And then rather just kind of, be the silent partner, if you will. So just think about that. That's a real thing. All right. So again, assess the scalability and sustainability of each revenue stream. Consider factors like resources, requirements, market trends, and potential challenges. We always want to try to plan for the challenges. Ask the audience about their objections. Say, why wouldn't you buy this product? Why wouldn't you invest in this service? Let them tell you, and then you meet them head on with those objections. Okay, I understand you want to buy this because it's a hefty investment, but here's why the investment seems hefty to you. Because we haven't sat down and really looked at how much we have coming in and out of our business on a daily basis. We don't realize that we do, in fact, have the income to take the service on. We do have the ability and capacity to expand our minds. We do have the ability to have someone come in and give us the cliff notes to take our business to the next level. So again, identify what those objections are so that you can meet them head on in your marketing, in your emailing, in your social media posting, in the conversations, when you're having your calls, when you're closing sales, when you're sending them the proposal or the invoice. Listen, I know you have objections. I know you might be feeling a certain way because of XYZ, but here's what I can, give to you. So just be ready. And then finally, it matters because, sorry, y'all. It matters because we want those revenue streams to position our businesses for success. All right, so let's move to this third step. So now we're going to create our profitability blueprint. So now that you have started to identify those viable revenue streams, it's time to map out a plan to bring them to life and ensure that they are contributing to your business's profitability. There's nothing wrong with doing a test. A beta test is such a good idea. We do beta testing in software development. We do beta testing in a lot of other things as well. There's testing when we're doing drug, creations. There's testing in all sorts of industries, niches, processes, and procedures because you need to understand if what you have put into the market is working. You always want to test. We're going to set our revenue goals. What is a revenue goal that you have for this new product in the next 90 days? Again, I talked about working in 12-week years, right? So working in quarters. What do you have that you'd like to reach revenue-wise before the end of the year that's going to catapult you into 2025? Say you have a goal of $10,000 for this new product. Again, do that market research, ask them what it is that they want, identify those objections, and you can go to, what is it called? Voice of the People or something to that effect. Anyway, there's like database essentially that you can leverage to ask questions like that. You can use ChatGPT as well, Perplexity, any of those artificial intelligence tools. You can have calls and ask people to hop on a 10-minute call with you to see what it is that they want, what their objectives might be. So really leverage this, create a survey, a Google Sheet, whatever it takes to get this data, because you can build off of data. You can make decisions on data. You can make changes based on your data. You can make money based on data. All right. We're going to set specific measurable revenue goals for each new stream, including those timelines for when you expect to achieve them. So again, we talked about that 90 days just off the break. If that's enough for you, cool. If you want to do it in a faster sprint, do that. See what you can do in the next 2 days. What can you launch by Monday? What can you launch next week? What data do you already have sitting in your customer relationship management system that you're not leveraging to identify what your market wants from you? When was the last time you asked your clients and customers what their experience was and what they could use that would take their next experience with you to the next level? Ask them those things. Clear goals give you a target to aim for and help you track progress, ensuring that your efforts are leading to tangible results. We want tangible results, and a tangible result is money in the bank account. A tangible result is having people say, yes, this is what I want. Yes, I'm ready to invest in that. Yes, I'm going to book a call with you because I want to learn more about what it is that you're offering that can help me in my life and in my business. The next thing we're going to do is map out the steps. What are those key actions you need to take to launch and grow each new revenue stream? Do you need to create a landing page? You really don't, quite honestly. Again, if this is a beta test, create a Google Sheet. Write it out in a Google Sheet and say, here's the link to the Google Sheet. Create a PayPal link in there. Create a Stripe link for the product. Have them pay for it that way. Send it to them via email. We don't have to do all this extra stuff, even though I know it's beautiful and you have a brand and you want to have a certain look. But the reality is there's no point in putting all of this energy and effort and time into something that people are not going to buy. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And I say this because I've done this so many times. I'm like, oh, girl, it doesn't look the way I want it to look. It's not my colors. It's not my font. It's not my this. It's not my that. Meanwhile, I should have been paying attention to whether people wanted it or not in real life. So I had to learn that the hard way. And I want to save you some heartache and pain and time and money and tell you, don't do it that way. Okay? You don't have to do it that way. We're telling you that there are other ways to do it that are much faster. We want to do things quick. Do it dirty. I mean, not tacky and crazy looking, but do it dirty. Do it scrappy. Do it lean. See what the results are. And then as you start to get that money, and then you can make it pretty, you can zhuzh it up. Like, y'all remember that product I gave you back in 2024? Look at it now, right? You have that money. You have that freedom and the flexibility because it has been tested. It has been validated in the market. So again, we're going to create an action plan for each stream. You want to detail the steps that you need to bring it to market, promote it, and ensure that it's profitable. If it's not profitable, it doesn't make sense. You don't need to be spending energy on something that is taking us so long to do. It's crazy to me. It really is. It really is. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is implement a tracking system. How will you monitor the performance of your new revenue streams to ensure that they're meeting your actual goals? Are you looking at things like key metrics for sales? Are you looking at customer acquisition? If you're running ads, what was the cost of each customer that purchased from you? Are you getting a return on ad spend that you expected? Does it make sense? Or are you spending more on ads than you're actually making in that product? Is it eating into your profit margin? Because if that's the case, we know we need to change something up. Ads can be incredibly expensive, but they can also be incredibly beneficial to the growth of your business. If you know how to use them, right? If you are able to work with somebody that knows how to get you to that place where they're running well, and then you can throw that gasoline on them and scale, that's a win. Ads do have the ability to increase visibility for you, reach, engagement. Again, to quickly indoctrinate people into your ecosystem, how you operate, what you do. So they have their benefits for sure, but you don't want to run an ad on something that's not going to sell. We don't want to advertise something and pay money for it when people aren't going to buy it. We're paying them to not buy it. We don't need to do that anymore. It's the silliest thing, y'all. It is the silliest thing. And again, I can say that because I've done that. I'm telling on myself. So, I sure have. Anyway, so implement that tracking system and we want to monitor it. So take a look at what's happening. Be intentional. Understand what you're looking at because you need to make sure that if the ads aren't working, you can tweak them and change them. That's what we need to be doing. We need to be making sure that the data is telling us a story and we're listening to the story that the data is telling us. All right. Okay. This matters because, again, it helps us stay on top of our goals and helps us to make adjustments. And then finally, we're going to review and refine them regularly. Like I mentioned, we need to make sure that what we're doing makes sense. It's making us money. It's allowing us to be the best that we can possibly be. It's allowing us to be great. That's what we want to make sure that we're doing. Okay. Alrighty. Let me just move this out of the way. So I want to make sure that I'm not blocking everything for you. Okay, let's get back to this. All right. How often will you review and refine your blueprint to ensure that the continued growth and success is happening the way that you desire for it to happen? Set a schedule. Regularly review it. If you want to review it every day, cool. If you want to review it once a week, cool. But just understand that the longer you wait, there may be a situation where you have to make more adjustments. If you're familiar with the project management world, we have these agile sprints. We're making something quickly, we're testing it quickly to see if it breaks, we're making changes if it does, then we're starting the next phase of it. You don't want to wait and wait and wait for something that's not working. You want to fix it as soon as you possibly can. Okay, so again, we want to do regular reviews because the profitability blueprint dynamic is allowing you to adapt to changes and seize opportunities as they come to you. Listen to your market. If their demand switches, be mindful of that. Okay. Be mindful of that. Pay attention. Reflection and refinement. So we've explored these new revenue streams, but that's just the beginning. We need to reflect regularly and refine regularly to ensure that our empire is continuing to thrive and grow. So now we're going to reflect on new opportunities. What new opportunities have emerged as you've explored and implemented your new revenue streams? What did you have in the vault that you forgot about? You're like, oh, that could be an idea, but you never really put it out there to see if it would work. I know you have a ton of ideas in these notebooks. We go to these conferences, we sit on these live virtual trainings, we do all these things, and we write and we write and we write, and we have all these ideas, but we forget to execute them because we've closed our book, and by the time we get home, we're on to something else. Go back and dust off some of your notebooks. Go back and look at some of your notes in Google or whatever it is that you leverage to take your notes to see what you had in there. I know you've had some great ideas. What can you execute next week that can increase your profitability? I want you to reflect on these new opportunities that have arisen from exploring these revenue streams. Reflect on them. How do they make you feel? Are you like, yeah, I remember why I thought about that. I remember why I wrote that down. That was a really good idea. And then ask the market if that's something that they want. Maybe they weren't ready for your greatness back then. Maybe they are now. So ask them. All right? Ask the people. I think it's Voice of the People. Back to that website I was talking to you about, Voice of the People. They'll tell you. Alrighty. Yes, the notebooks. Listen, I have so many notebooks around here, y'all. I got this notebook. I got 4 notebooks I'm looking at right here. I'm like, man, I'm doing the same things. I'm going back to my notebooks. I'm going back to my notes, things that I highlighted. What can I bring out? What can I launch? What can I get out into the market that's going to support somebody, that's going to make them better, that's going to allow them to create transformation in their personal lives, in their family lives, in their business, with their emotional, spiritual, physical, and financial wealth? What am I going to do to support them in that journey? So y'all, I'm doing the same exercise over the weekend because, by the way, this is a bye week, right? If you did not have an opportunity to be with me live days 1 through 5 or day 1 through 4, whatever, and you need to catch up on the replays, we're going to leverage the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, to catch up on those replays because I want you to do these exercises. I want you to have a game plan so that you know what to do as we enter into Q4, right? We want to be able to do as much as we can. We've got 4 months and some, 4 months and some change left, y'all. Math, right? And I want you to use them strategically. I want you to use them intelligently. I want you to use them to take your business to the next level. You can do this. Okay? Reflection is going to help you recognize and capitalize on new opportunities, keeping your business dynamic and forward thinking. Have you ever heard that you should be on the cutting edge of whatever it is that you do? You want to continue to be educated on what's changing. because the world is always changing. It is ever changing. It is fast paced. It is moving. Every time you turn around, there's something new in the news. There's something new that's popped up. There's a new application. There's a new software. There's a new product or service. If you don't tap into that and figure out how to be innovative in your own space, you're not going to survive. You're going to become a relic. And I don't want you to become a relic. You always want to be applicable. You always want to be relevant. Do you realize how artists are always kind of evolving and reinventing themselves? Even some of the older ones, Madonna, Cher, Charlie Wilson, Uncle Charlie, all these people are constantly reinventing themselves so they can stay relevant with the times. Be mindful of the times. Is what you offer relevant for this time, for such a time as this? If it's not, let's move on to something else that is. All right, so we're going to refine that strategy and optimize the performance with these new revenue streams. Identify areas of improvement in your revenue strategy and make adjustments to optimize performance and profitability. Again, we're testing, we're refining, we're tweaking, we're fixing it. We're making it the best that it can possibly be for that iteration. Your first iteration is not going to be your final iteration. Nothing is. How many of you guys have an iPhone? What are we on now? 15 or 16? Yeah, I had an iPhone, I think like 3 or 4. It's continuing to evolve. It's a different iteration. There's something new that's added every time they have a new release. We have to be the same way. What are we offering that's different from what everybody else has to offer in the market? What sets us apart as that category of one person, that unique person? You really want to focus on that too. What makes me different? Okay. Finally, we're going to celebrate our wins because we always want to celebrate our wins. We talk about that. How will you celebrate the success of your new revenue stream and the growth of your empire? What are you going to do? You're going to take yourself out. You're going to get that new, dress that you've been eyeing, that new pair of shoes. Take yourself to the movies. Get a good meal that you've been wanting to get. Get you some dessert, right? A new piece of jewelry, whatever it is that you wanted to do. Celebrate yourself. We need to be able to do that. Our minds and our bodies need to be able to feel that achievement so that we can get back to work. Okay? So identify how you're going to celebrate yourself and then create a plan to celebrate those milestones as successes. You make $1,000 on your new product or service, put, 50% of that away for your freedom fund, for your fun fund, for your legacy fund, whatever it is that you want to do. And as more of those sales come in, put a percentage of that somewhere else. Maybe you want to have a vacation. Put it in your travel fund. So you're going to see the fruits of your labor materialize. You're going to see that revenue come in, and you're going to be able to celebrate those achievements and milestones. It's going to become tangible for you. So again, create a plan to celebrate those successes, both personally and with your team. If it's a team effort, you definitely want to celebrate your team. Make them feel appreciated, supported, like they have been a part of that success. Throw them a party. Take them out to dinner. Give them a little bump. Set some money aside for a bonus at the end of the year or fourth quarter or something to that effect, right? Think about these things. How can you celebrate that? Because when people are celebrated and appreciated, they are more apt to want to work for you. They're more apt to want to build that dream and follow your vision. People want to be appreciated. Okay. We talked about expanding that empire, and this is the blueprint for sustainable growth. By following this strategy, you're not just expanding your revenue, you're building a profitability blueprint that ensures sustainable long-term growth for your empire. The key to success is not just finding new opportunities. We are strategically evaluating and executing them in a way that aligns with your vision and drives your business forward. Remain innovative. Continue growing your empire. Okay? Your business is destined for greatness with these new revenue streams paving the way, as always, to your unapologetic affluence and unstoppable success. Okay. That's the actual exercise, ladies and gents. That is what we're going to do for our experience today. I want to just check and make sure there aren't any questions in the chat. Okay. Alrighty. Let me know what's coming up for you. I'm actually really curious. How do you feel that you've gone through this exercise? Does it feel good? Do you feel like, it's what you came for? Or you're like, dang, she's always got something to say. Or is it a whole bunch of ouches? Hopefully it's not the latter. But I really want you to be intentional. Again, these are things that people don't think about as they're building their businesses. They just jump in and they start to craft something and they forget about all the pieces of the puzzle that have to be put into place to make the complete picture. It has to be a complete picture, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we want to talk about things that are going to be sustainable. It does not make sense to continue to put energy and time and resources into something that is not going to sustain the test of time, the market, our attention span, right? If you're not involved in something, if you don't enjoy doing something, you're not going to continue to stick with it. Like, who wants to do that? Like, it's lame. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. What I would like to do next. Yesterday, I introduced Femme and Fortune to you. And what I would like to do is just go through it one more time. I'm going to add that to the stage so that you see what it is that I'm talking about. I'm also going to drop this into the chat so that you can look at it on your own. You can peruse this. Femme and Fortune is where wealth and wellness collide. I would love to welcome you into this 12-month program. We are talking about how to take that business from from burnout and overwhelm to breakthrough, to a profitable business that is sustainable, it's innovative, it is cutting edge, and it's impactful, but it's also harmonious with what it is that you want to do outside of your business. It does not impact your personal life in a negative way. All right. That is wealth and wellness colliding in Femme and Fortune. We are talking about monthly interactive live trainings, just like we just did today. And for the 4 days prior to this, we're going to be going through some actual exercises. And by the way, not everything is going to be in that particular format. We'll have other more collaborative exercises. We'll do things that are actually being demonstrated for you. We're going to be doing something that's going to just shift your mindset and allow you to see that you can do business in a different way. That doesn't involve a whole lot of responsibility that falls on you. We're going to dive deeper into that WealthCare framework that we've been looking at so that we have holistic strategies to build wealth without sacrificing our well-being. Again, I'm going to really talk about that 3P framework. It's powerfully positioning you for profit. We talk about purpose, profit, and prosperity, what we need to do in order to do that. We are preparing our foundational pieces. We are looking at performance. So again, we're identifying what's working, we're testing, we're changing things that aren't working. And then we're identifying those ways to make that profit and increase profit. We have our 4 pillars of prosperity. We are learning how to build sustainable success and abundance. All right. We're talking about how to analyze, strategize, optimize, and multiply our money, our mindset, our capacity, our bandwidth to make ourselves better people so that we can show up better for our families and ourselves. Execution like never before. Again, I've been involved in many coaching plans and programs and masterminds and experiences and things where we were just given a lot of information and we weren't working together to actually execute the information. So we're going to execute together in a group setting. It is going to be a community. There's going to be a camaraderie, collaboration, connectivity, support. A cheerleader. Who doesn't need a cheerleader? My desire is that you find your collaboration partner there, that you find the person that's going to be your adjacent market partner. We'll create tailored market plans for you. They'll have clear, actionable steps, and we're going to make sure that those goals are achieved. Wealthy resources and rich templates. Again, we're talking about affluence, opulence, luxury, bespoke, boutique, exclusive. lifestyles, if that's what you desire to have. That's what I desire to have. So that is why those are my words. That is my mood, my vibe, my tone, my personality. And that is why I operate in this manner. It might be something different for you, but we've got the vault. So there are a ton of resources that are curated to help you produce the best results in your business, fast track success. We're leveraging these tools to execute flawlessly and accelerate your growth. Again, it's like having a partner there for you. And we're also elevating your business with these templates to make sure that you're stepping into your power as a CEO. It's okay to be a founder, but we want to become strategic, visionary, profitable CEOs that are expansive. Okay. Dedicated implementation time. So in addition to actually going through the resources, we're going to have homework, essentially. We're going to meet for Q&A. Do you have questions on how to execute something? Do you need to tweak something? Are you going to ask the community if it fits for the market? Is this a viable offer? Does this make sense? So we're going to implement this stuff in real time, get the results, and then we're going to get moving on what's next. There should be measurable progress. We're going to be able to track the results of what we're doing. You need to be able to track your results. All right. Exclusive question and answer sessions. And we have office hours. You remember being back in school, y'all, where you got to go to like the teacher's office, like after class to make sure that you got caught up on everything. It's very similar. Okay. But this is not schoolwork. This is life work. We're building a business. And many people are not equipped with the tools to build a strategic, profitable, sustainable business. Right? And listen, I'm not saying that I have all the answers because I don't. But I do know that I have a number of years of experience, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of training, coaching, real life experience managing other corporations, Fortune 500, Fortune 100, government agencies, etc. So I know a little something, but the reality is when you do it in community, it's just so much better. You're able to collaborate. You're able to leverage other people's brilliance and experience and expertise to grow your business. So again, real-time solutions, tailored advice, right? That is unique to your business and your experience, and breakthrough moments. We're going to transform obstacles into opportunities with targeted support and strategies. We have to shift our mindset. The reality is in business and in life, you're going to experience some things that are challenging for you. How are we going to show up when that happens? What plans do we have in place to navigate through those obstacles? That is the mindset that we're going to come from. Not what was me, right? But yes, it's me. I'm going to achieve what it is that I set out to achieve. Unapologetically, by the way. Again, the investment in this opportunity for pay in full is $18,000. You do have exclusive bonuses for pay in full. There is a monthly plan as well. 12 monthly payments at $1,800. It's flexible. So if you want to chat about it, feel free to just send me a message. We can chat about it as well. The expectation is that we kick off in the middle of September. I'm going to need an opportunity for onboarding to get you all set up to have our actual onboarding call so that you can understand what to expect in the program. Let's just talk about the pay in full bonuses really quickly. When you choose to pay in full for Femme and Fortune, you are securing your place in the future. You are saying to yourself, I'm choosing me. You're going to have an unapologetic wealth strategy session. We're going to go through everything that you have in your business for 90 minutes. We're going to look at those profit and loss statements, income statements, balance sheets, statements of cash flows. We can even look at your tax returns if you'd like, so we can determine what we need to do to get your business to the next level. Identify how to pay yourself a salary if you're structured as an S corporation that is commensurate with your brilliance, what your owner's draw should be looking like if you're a solopreneur. Okay, because again, we need to be focusing on paying ourselves for the great works that we're doing. And we'll put a plan in place to expedite your success. You will have access to the CEO Blueprint Bundle. It is a collection of resources, templates, and tools tailored to help you run your business smoothly and efficiently. Some of the tools that you've seen so far are in that Blueprint Bundle. There are a ton of resources that you have not seen that are going to support you in your business growth. We're also going to be talking about how to leverage AI. I talked about that as well. I've got prompts for you. I've got demonstrations for you. I've got tools that you didn't even know existed. I can support you in implementing that into your own business if that is what you desire. So that's a bonus, y'all. Nobody's doing this yet. Okay. I want you to be on the cutting edge and at the forefront of this revolution. And then we'll also have VIP access to the Feminine Fortune Mastermind. This is your space to connect, share, and grow with others who understand the challenges and triumphs that you face. We are having a much more intimate group. We are talking about things that are a little more elevated, right? We're talking about 7 and 8 figure jumps. We're talking about what we need to do to position ourselves for scale and sale. We're talking about who we need to connect with, what types of resources we need to do. How do we get in to conversations with decision makers? We're talking about what it looks like to have a CFO on our team, what it looks like to have an ops manager, a sales manager, to have a fully functioning team that takes our business to the next level. These are some of the more elevated conversations that we have in that mastermind. So if that's something that you desire, I highly recommend jumping in on that. There are other things that are going to be offered as a pay in full bonus as well. I'm still working on that. We might do a VIP session and a tax planning session too, because we are going into Q4 and we want to be prepared before the end of the year so that we enter into 2025 on point and on profit. Okay. Step into your brilliance. I would love for you to just stop playing small. It is time to rise and claim your rightful place in your business as a CEO. We want to start thinking about what success really looks like. We want to build a life that feels good, as well as a business that feels good. We're building a business around our lives, not the other way. An unapologetic affluence. You want to command the wealth in all forms. You want to be wealthy in your mindset, in your body, in your spirit, and obviously in your bank account. So we're going to be talking about those types of things. We're going to be having mindset conversations, coaching opportunities. We're going to be talking about incredible resources, books, and podcasts and things that we can leverage to expand our mindsets and prepare us for that role as we step into it. These are the opportunities for you to join. So again, this is the link for the monthly opportunity, and this is your link for the annual. It is also scrolling across the screen. I will drop this into the chat box as well so everybody can see it. And with that, I'm going to say thank you. You all have been such a pleasure and a joy. I appreciate you for showing up with me, to chat with me, to, participate in this experience, because you didn't have to do this. You were spending your most valuable asset and resource with me, and that is your time. So I do thank you and appreciate you. And I'm hoping that having this opportunity has been time for you to really see what's happening in your business and how you can just make it better, how you can make the shifts that you need. Alrighty, so these are our links in case you were unable to access it and see it as it scrolled past. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Again, days 6 and 7 over the weekend are for you to catch up on the replays, for you to catch up on these exercises so that you can really see what's happening in your business and get that new revenue stream up and running so that we can start making money sooner rather than later. As always, to your unapologetic affluence, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.